How you guys doing? Yes, we're back on the road to Mythic Mounts, and on top of that, in today's episode, we're actually going to be doing some adornments, kind of like the title said, because, to be honest, I see a lot of people asking about adornments, and I am going to kind of go through them, and kind of go for the ones that I am trying to aim for my testing for my channel, since you guys do want some adornment testing, which is going to be really interesting. I'm going to do some funky things to do with that too, and try and find some baselines for us all to work from. So what we're going to do is do kind of the basic first bit, smash out some quick mounts. There's 58 whistles that we've got up here at the top, and then we're going to go into breeding some of our mounts, because on the down low I have been breeding, as you can kind of see. And just to kind of showcase what I'm going to try in today's video after these extra 58, or I might just go and get 2 extra mount whistles just for the content's purposes, and we're going to try and see what happens when you guys even asked for this. What would happen if we put both of these two together? I know what happens, but we're going to see if something really interesting does happen, because we do have Cunning and Renewal, which is mounted heroes passive skill strategy damage increase, and then Renewal, which is a healing effect. But then down here we have Lifesaver and Swift Speed, and a lot of you guys are hoping, because they are both protective, and maybe if the stars align, we might actually keep the Renewal and the Lifesaver, or we're going to get some sort of combination very similar to it. So that's going to be a really fun one that we're going to do as well. So before we get into it all, smash like, comment, and subscribe, support the channel. And if you want to go that a little step further, check out my creator link in the description down below for Eneba. Obviously, anytime you purchase Apex coins or Empire coins on there, it helps me as a content creator. So thank you very much for all you guys that have been supporting me all this time. You are honestly making this a full-time career. So thank you very much for the support. So with that, let's get into the juicy stuff, right? So what we'll do is get 2 extra mount whistles, since we've kind of said that in his intro plan. So let's kind of follow up on it. I am going to use the cheap ones up here, which is only 800. Obviously, if you go down below, you can get some more mount whistles here, but they're 1,000 instead. So I try not to get them unless I'm in a pinch. And to be honest, I don't really want to be spending 1,000 on a mount whistle when I could be spending 1,000 on a universal medal, because I'm VIP 12, right? So with that though, we do have 60 bombs, so we can actually have some nice full summons. So we'll put on the quick search feature, and let's see how far we go. We was on 84.1, I just saw, for my proficiency. So we'll see how high this goes up. But what's going to be really interesting is the direction that I'm going to take with the research, right? Because just to showcase that we have been breeding and we have been doing this animal research, we have gone through 3311 all the way across to the end, just to give us some basic, kind of traits to go for. But I did realize from speaking in the Whale Insight series, and if you haven't checked it out, I have a full playlist that hopefully I should remember to pop up right there. And that playlist honestly has all these different whales talking about it, and in a few of the episodes we talk about mounts, and many of them did the same thing, but they start to go straight away into here, because the philosophy on the bigger players is, well, even if I get a bad mount, so let's just say I do get a really terrible mount and it's got not the greatest attributes, it's not even got the greatest trait on it, it's just there for holding sakes, because I might have a really good adornment that I need to use, right? Well, even when you equip that horse, you're going to be getting these stats. So you got to think the mounted hero now is gaining all of these buffs. And if you have obviously 3 heroes all with these buffs, that's a lot of buffs going into that match, right? You've got to think on that specific hero. So when you're playing, and what I'm going to do now is actually start pushing through and getting these unlocked, and start actually leveling up my research on my archers. And I know a lot of people are going to laugh, but hey, I'm going to be the only content creator that's going to be the archer mains. I'll be the underdog, and I'm happy to be that, because it's kind of fun playing with them still. And a lot of people who do play archers will agree with that too. So let's get into some breeding now. Since we've gone through that, we can do mass breeding, and I'm going to do some actual targeted breeds first, just because I want to kind of like, you know, breed these horses that are docile, as you can see, but you saw it has might and armor. And what we'll try and do is actually find this warbred horse, which has might and armor, add it together so we can maintain that actual attribute, and now try and breed, get in, hopefully, a warbred trait, which we do. And we kept docile too, which is technically the perfect role of what we wanted. This means now, in the future, if I ever want to keep Fearless, the solo battle, your troops damage taken reduces by 2.1%. If I have a horse with Docile on, with Fearless, and I find another horse, maybe with Warbred, but it has Fearless on, I have actually a pretty good chance of maintaining my Fearless trait, hopefully, right? Which is going to be quite good, again, in the future for certain things. So this is kind of what you want to be doing with your horses. This time, we're doing the same, but it's going to be Siege with a bit of strategy. Who knows what's going to happen here, right? But we're still looking for something. So Mounted Heroes, active skill, strategy damage increase. Pretty good, but I already have the best one. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this since the last update, but there is a lot of new traits, meaning there's a brand new rarity, right? Before it went white, blue, purple, legendary, mythic, and now we've got this uncommon green in there too now. So if you're wondering what it is, I believe it's a new one. I don't remember mentioning it, but hey, it is what it is, right? So I'm still going to keep going through here, and hey, we've got a Battlemaster there. Mounted Heroes turn-based skill damage increase, and we became an epic horse. So that's actually pretty good for us. I'm going to keep trying to match up the best I can. So this is might and strategy with docile. So this is another might, strategy, docile. So I'm going to keep that one. See if we've got something protective. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Hopefully this is going to be a good one, boys and girls. Boom! Oh, Peacemaker. And we've kept the docile on it again. Hell to the yeah. So what I'll do now is actually mass breed all of the purples. And what I'm going to do is actually aim for the might and armor horses. So we can do this. Trait quality we don't care about. And what we want to go for, technically, is just continuous breeding. So this is going to go for all of these horses. I could go to this horse here, and we need to actually. So we're going to actually not do that. Because it's going to take our horse here and breed it. So what we can do, I believe, is if we go over to the mount management, just for now, and we just scroll down to that blue horse, because we're going to need this for a bit of testing. We can lock it now. So we can lock that horse, and anything else can basically go, because there's no mythic traits there that we care about now, right? So we can actually start breeding these properly, and if we get a double traded horse, we can now breed it with another double traded horse and see what happens, right? So this is kind of what you should be trying to do if you really are mid-maxing, especially with this brand new mass breeding one. You can go for no traits, single traits, and specific. So if I do this, it'll go for anything with no traits or single. So if we go that, it's going to go bang, previous step now, no traits. Boom, we've got all of these horses now. So we'll start mass breeding all of this. See if we got anything interesting. We didn't really get all cool. Got Fearless. We got a Peacemaker again. So we can go back down and have a look now. So we've got all of these funky horses. So I'm actually just going to mass breed all of the blues again. Sounds crazy, I know. But we didn't have anything really good, and I'm going to try and do this just for keeping, a bit of time onto this video, since we are going to try and get through a lot. But through all of those mass breeding, it bred so much that we got 172 points, and these are the only horses that came out from promotion. So you can see we kind of, I wouldn't say it lost horses, but you can see we gained a bunch of insight points for doing so. But this is what's remaining. So what I am going to do is add it in. We're going to unlock it. Boom. And this is a bad idea. I just want to show why this is a bad idea, because a lot of people probably are trying to do this, right? Some people think the idea is you've got a double traded horse here, you can get the stratagem, and maybe you can get rid of one of these, you know, skills that you don't care about. You can get rid of one of them, right? And hopefully you can get something better that's strategy damage based because of alert, right? Makes sense, it makes sense. But what you are gambling is a 60% chance to maintain that double trait compared to a 40% chance on a single trait. And I'm going to tell you, this game isn't nice, and most of the time it's going to land on this 40%. So just to kind of showcase this, if we look at, we are lucky, but it shouldn't be lucky. I should get punished. So I got purple horse, I got promoted, which is good. But you can see there, I went back down to a singular trait. So it's not worth doing that by any means, basically. So that's kind of what we're going to do. So now we're in our purple horses, and we've only got a few of these. So I am going to just kind of put these two bland ones together. Hopefully we get the 1% on video. Who knows? Well, the 10% on video, and then get the 1% on video later. Who knows, right? But we are just going to breed those into together, and what we are looking for basically is these thunderbolts for one of my units. I would say my Lubu. So I'm going to just try and go for warbred horses, and there we go. Beautiful purple on that thunderbolt, which is great. We're going to need that hopefully later on, so we can try again with we've got that's really good mischievous there. So we're going to get rid of fearless here, and we're going to get rid of fierce attack, because all my heroes already have legendary fierce attack, so no point using that unless it's anything better, right? So we've got a bedrock here, not the greatest. We're going to put docile with alert, and hopefully what we can try and find is another strategy one, because there's no real passive skill strategy damage based heroes in the game for us that we care about, especially for me on my account. So we're going to try and re-go. So we got alert, kept armor and strategy, which is good, but we only got fearless. So we are going to obviously go and whack that one back in. So I might try and find another alert horse if I've got one here. I don't think I actually do. I've got a double trait here, which we're going to use later. We'll try fearless. We'll go for fearless, and we'll try and re-roll the armor to might. And the reason why I want to do this as well, I think people might start snagging on to this. I actually think the best attributes for 90% of marchers, unless you're like Mansa Musa, or if you're Seong the Great or Barbarossa, right? Heroes that skate with armor are the exceptions. But I think for the large majority of players, we need strategy and might, because this is increasing obviously your strategy, which is reducing the damage you take from them, and increasing just technically strategy damage dealt. But might also increasing your normal attack, and if you're a might based hero, your might based damage. So either way, it's good for both marchers, I think, to try and go for might and strategy. And if you've been watching these videos, that might be a little bit of an insight for you guys to take away from this video, because I do think that is going to be the actual case with things. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. So let's go. We're in purple still. We're not mounting that. Oh god, we want to keep breeding. Oh god, that was a green. So we'll get rid of these two greens. So this is again, like, I know it's a bit of a pain. I wondered how good this series would be, but a lot of people are enjoying it because they've seen how even me, like, I have to do this just like you guys, and I'm not putting any money into this mechanic. This is one of the worst mechanics in the game, so why would I do that, right? So we're gonna go for a whole reroll here, and we got a bedrock. So I believe we got two bedrocks, if I'm not mistaken there. We got one bedrock there. Nope. So we will put spirited in. Get rid of it. So what I am just trying to do at the moment. Ooh, we got a double horser here. Hey yo, we got 3 double horses, and that's what I was literally about to say. All I'm trying to do here is actually just breed these horses into double traits, or actually into a legendary, because at the moment my heroes, as you can see, have got legendary with like a legendary trait here for a lot of the ones that I use. So I am trying to get up into that stage now where all of my horses have got some really good options. So I'm going to keep the docile Thunderbolt just for a future Thunderbolt. As I said earlier, try to get that even better. But hey, Iron Ridge, Warbred, it's not too bad. We can do one more. Let's go. Well, last horse, is it going to be a legendary? Nope, no it's not. But oh, we got another double traitor. Jesus, that was lucky. We just got 2 double traits on video. Holy shit. It is not rigged. And what's crazy about this is both horses are protective and both might and armor. So you know what that means? This has the highest chance of being double traits, which is 70% now. We might get a triple trait horse, which is going to be nuts on video. And the fact is they're both protective. So if we do mutate, hopefully we are going to get 3 or 2 still really good combinations of protective traits. Let's go. Come on. Oh, legendary. Oh, it's purple. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Mythic Lifesaver with that renewal. Holy shit. Even though I wish that renewal was a little bit higher, that is so good. That is actually a really good upgrade that I'm going to have to think of who to put this mount on, because we have obviously some heroes that could be taking advantage of it. So if we go all the way down to Mehmed here we are. Mehmed, you are getting a well-deserved upgrade, my friend. Boom! Puts it on. Easy clap. Love it. Absolutely huge. And let's see if we can do it one more time. One more time. This is going to be a lot more, honestly, on it. So we've got Cunning here, which is a mounted passive skill strategy damage. This is useless to us. And then the renewal. So that's the only reason why I'm happy to get rid of it. If we keep Bedrock and maybe get a better protective like that Valor again, who knows? But here we go. Legendary horse, maybe. Oh, it's a legendary. Oh, let's go. Legendary double. And we got renewal with fierce attack. So this is going to be huge, because even though I don't think I'm going to mount this on my Timmer, who would be a prime candidate for this, we have to compare these mounts, right? So we have a legendary 18.9% normal attack to 17.1, but we do get more healing effect, which does actually impact his actual healing from his skills too. So do you know what? Just for this video, and it's 15 armor, we'll take it. We're putting it on too. Oh my god. Hell yeah, dude. Triple. Oh well, we went into double traded horses, and then we put into 2 insane double traded horses, and one of them was a legendary. Holy shit, dude. And this isn't even the end, guys. We've still got more to go in this one episode, because I do want to keep going. I've got all this to go. Look at this. We've got a legendary fierce up here. We've got so much to have a bit of fun with. If you've enjoyed, though, smash a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's kind of reset here, because this is kind of insane to get this all on video first time. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go. I can't believe it. Right, so let's go. We've got protective with mischievous. Do we get the 1% celestial charger? Let's see. Oh, if only. If only. But we do get perseverance. Not too bad, but guess what? We are going to be putting that in the trash can. And let's see what we get here. We've got Warbred with Fearless here. So anything could happen. It could even swap from strategy to might, but we will be maintaining the siege here. Is there any better combination we could do? We could maintain the stats if we want to with this mischievous horse, and then we do keep one of our horses, And we do have, do you know what? We will do this, right? We're going to do it like this. We're going to put this one in, Might and Armor. Might and, no, not Might and Armor. And where is it? And this one, right? Because we do want to try and reset all of this. And if we hit Fearless, and if we hit anything, hopefully, the plan is, if we do get the 1%, we can get the Might, Armor, and Strategy, right? That is the whole gimmick here. And if we get a good trait, we get a good trait. But hey, oh, bro. Oh, it's Might and Armor. We'll take it. Might and Armor. We want those ones. So we'll start whacking these Might and Armors in together and see if we can find something. Anything better would be great. Ooh, okay. We've got Spiritborn and Stalwart here. So we take less damage from turn-based skills, but our mounted hero's active strategy damage increase. But we do need to swap these stats, right? So that's what we're going to try and aim for now. So we can try, if we've got, we don't even have it. So do you know what? We're just going to pair up. We're pairing up our attributes. We're going to try and maintain our attributes and keep going for good, just upgrades on our skills, basically. I could try and keep this fierce, but do you know what? I'm not too bothered about it. I'm going to go, oh, do you know what? We can do it like this. Yeah, we can do it like this. And if we keep fierce, that'd be cool because it's warbred. No, we don't. We got a cunning. We got a dirty cunning there. So put this mischievous one in with the alert one. See if we get anything out of it. Boom, double traits. We got legendary lifesaver. So now, final two, guys. Can we get a mythic mount on video to end things? No. The answer is no. So you know that means we have to keep going to keep finishing off. So what we have done though, we've got 421 research insight points, and that does put us on our 1 out of 10. And the thing is, to get this upgrade, you can see I'm going to have to do this one on basically all of the same here. But what I am going to actually do instead is work up my archers. I'm actually just going to go all the way up on here. I'm going to try and get it to at least 5 out of 10 before I even consider using any of this, and then I'll start pushing this up, because obviously I'm trying to be an archer main, and that is the way to go, right? So to finish it off, like I said in the video, since we didn't hit mythic, let's do some archer adornments, and that will conclude things and kind of give you guys a little kind of bit of advice on how to do this. Because the thing is, with your adornments, you got to remember they do come with these special effects, and obviously you want certain special effects for certain marches. So at the moment, if we look at my items, you can see I do have this special effect here of power accumulation, which I'm maintaining because I do think this is going to be one really good one for our boy Alp Aslan, because you got to think there's no real adornment for him, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. So power accumulation makes a bit more sense for him because it's reducing damage and generating more rage, and if he can generate more rage, his commander skill can proc more often, giving us more fleet effects. That is kind of the whole goal with this, right? But if you look on my other heroes, right, I've got my Mulan's Eye of the Storm, and I've also got my risk aversion on this kind of Rani, which is after your commander activates a commander skill, increases troops movement speed and reduces damage taken. I'm really taking this because of the reduced damage taken, because our commander is going to be firing off her skill. Mulan's got a really quick skill which she can fire off. So the one I'm looking for is for my Mehmed. My Mehmed needs one actual adornment, which is going to be resistance. And you can see for my current tactical archers, I'm actually running one setup, and I'm going to test a few of them, but I've got my resistance on my Theodora. This is what I'm going to be looking for my Mehmed here. And then we've got deceptive words, and I'm testing this to see how good it is instead of using an Everflame Wings for now, and it's actually been pretty good. It actually does a pretty darn good job because it's a turn-based skill, so it's always guaranteed to go off every 9 seconds. You only are gambling that 5% chance, and the thing is, when this starts to go up, it goes up to 10% chance on purple, and then it goes up to, I think, 15% in total, so just not too bad at all. And with my Ramses, then I've got power accumulation still, and I am debating after doing some testing because I want to use risk aversion on my Zhu Liang for the same reason, because technically my good old Ramses is going to be firing off his commander skill quite often, and if that is giving me more damage reduction, that is kind of the way I'm going to be going with my 3 different adornments on my march. But I am going to be doing some testing on that, right? Because when we come into our actual adornments that we've got here, the thing is, we've got Strike Soul. This is when your commander skill hits only 1 troop, you deal additional strategy damage. None of us really do that, so we don't really care about this. But one which is interesting is Strike Weakness. And this is where I am going to try, and if I get this, test it out with Deceptive Wounds. Because anytime the target is affected by debuffs, the mounted hero's strategy damage increases. And this is by 3.5, then 4.4, 5.2, and then 6.1% per debuff type. And you're going to think, if you're a Suleiman player or a Ramses player and you have Everflame Wings, well, Everflame Wings burns already, and it can silence too. And the thing is, if you are Suleiman, you incap the target. So that is already, what, 6, 12, 18.3% extra strategy damage that you're dealing. And technically, Ramses can do similar effects if his support runs Deceptive Wounds and hits the other buff that they're missing if the target's already under the other 2. So this is kind of like a really cool little combo. I'm going to test it. I'm not going to recommend anyone go for it, apart from potentially Suleiman players probably do want Strike Weakness, right? But apart from that, when we go again for these 1%ers, double attack status doesn't matter to our Ramses, and that's why we don't care about it. Eye of the Storm, again, doesn't really matter. We're not using second strike skills on Ramses. So you can see these 1% ones don't really affect Ramses, apart from potentially the Strike Weakness combo. So then you got to look down, and we've got Resistance, and this is what we're going to aim for today on my Mehmed, which we're going to go for. But then you got Blood Rage, which is about generating a bunch of rage instantly. I don't think you're going to need this personally. War Prep, again, the mounted heroes all damage increases. This is for specific units if your units exceed 8% of deployment capacity. Slaughter, again, it's just like, we don't really care about this. Risk Aversion is after your commander activates a commander skill, increase the troops' movement speed. So this is, again, the one which I'm debating if we get could be a potential candidate on our Zhu Liang, because then you got power accumulation, which is already equipped to our Ramses, and then you got Deceptive Words, and then Shadow Chaser. And again, when you look at all of these kind of attacks, these just don't really look great for even Alp Aslan. The only one that actually looks good for Alp Aslan is actually Shadow Chaser, because he's going to launch normal attacks and hopefully his active skill goes off, and then there's a 65% chance to increase that damage over time effect. And then obviously if you hit it with a second flee effect, that's quite a lot of damage that's going to come out within those 3 seconds. So Shadow Chaser might actually be usable on one of these heroes. Apart from that, power accumulation, again, sounds like the better bet for a Alp Aslan build, right? So let's go on craft now, right? We've got 2 different types. You can go for Archer Attack, Archer Health, and Hero Skill Damage. I'm actually going, obviously, for the Eagle's Blessing. If you've not seen the common theme here, I'm running as many of these as possible, even though my Ramses does a ton of damage, and I could swap this out for a more offensive adornment. The thing is, Archers already deal enough damage. We need to sustain as much as we can. So increasing our defense, increasing our health is really beneficial to our troops, as well as giving us that troop damage reduction. So for me as an Archer player, I'm always going to go triple Eagle's Blessing. Might be in the future where I might gamble and try 1 piercing arrow, and that would only be on like your Mulan, it might be on your Ramses, or it might be on, for argument's sake, Alp Aslan, if he's your 1 DPS. Either way, you're going to run double eagles, right? So let's go. We're going to craft these, and what you can craft these individually, and that is the best way of doing it. And when you are crafting these, the cool thing is, if it's something that you don't want, don't worry about it, because we are going to basically recycle this and get half of our investment back. So obviously it costs us 10 to go every time and craft, but every time we go through and we see this isn't the one that we want, guess what? We can go back here now, go to items, and then we can dismantle. So if we go to special effects, make sure we got the right one, dismantle, get 5 back, and then guess what? We'll go back to the other one, slaughter, dismantle, and get 1 back. So basically this is the best way of doing it, because if you think about it, every 2 that you pop, if they're 2 that you don't like, you get a free third chance, and then you gotta go again, right? And again and again, and it does this pretty well. And you can obviously earn these meteorite steals in Desolate Desert as well as in the VIP store if you're high enough in VIP. So this is what we're going to keep doing. We got another power accumulation, really good, but we don't need it, I don't think, because we've already got, like I said, one of these bad boys here, and we've got another one here, so we don't need a third one. That's just going overkill for us, so we are just going to dismantle this straight away and go back in, and let's see what we have. Strike weakness. Ooh, so this is one of the 1%ers, and because we've got deceptive words, we will keep this. Like I said, I'm going to try this out and see how good it combos with obviously our deceptive words and strike weakness, because that is going to be the combo, and Everflame Wings. Is it going to be worth running or not? We'll soon find out for you guys, right? Because that's kind of what we're going to go for. But deceptive words, we've just speaking about it, and there it comes back up. So not the one we want though. War prep, still don't want it. We're looking for that resistance now. We need resistance, guys, for our good old Mehmed. So let's go and dismantle a bunch of these so we can lock that, because we want to keep this. It's strike weakness. War prep can dismantle. I could even lock a lot of these, which ones we want. So if I lock this one, and then we've got deceptive words already here, so we don't need that, right? So I can batch dismantle now, and it will get rid of all of the ones that aren't locked and obviously not equipped, right? So that's really good that we've got those. So happy days. And now you can see resistance for my good old cavalry. You'll see a common theme there with resistance in this. So we've got 9 more tries plus any additional ones that we're going to get. So come on, guys. 12% chance to get resistance. Deceptive words. Slaughter. We're going to go again. There we go. We got our resistance. Finally. We finally got it, right? So what this means is if we go back into items, we can finally go in and dismantle these 2. And that means our archers for now are actually set up. They're ready to go. And what that means is if we go over to our mount management, I can go to Mehmed. And then because he's got this absolutely banging mount that we got today, we can go into these special effects, make sure we find the one with resistance, equip that in, and have him equipped with his bad boy of a good old Adornment. And obviously this is major little increases that you're gonna have, but you're gonna need them, right? You're gonna need them in the long run for your game, and obviously to keep up with other players. But what we're gonna do, maybe I could do some cavalry in the next one, try and get some cavalry ones, because I've got now technically the adornments that I want. What we could do is craft a few extras just to do some extra testing for you guys. And do you know what? I will do that. I'm going to craft some extras just because, you know what? If we get any of the 1%, we can test the difference on them. And if we've got something like deceptive words already, we can kind of get rid of it. And we've got another resistance there for a third one. But you look, right? Why couldn't you come earlier on? Why couldn't you come earlier on? So we'll try this war prep out. We'll try war prep out and slaughter there. So you can see 2 of those ones. And we'll obviously test and see if they're going to be any good. So war prep, we'll keep resistance. We'll dismantle. And then we'll keep slaughter. So then we can test these ones. We can dismantle this one as well, because we've already got a deceptive words locked on here. So Again, we can lock Slaughter and we can lock War Prep. And we'll look for, just for argument's sake, I've got Eye of the Storm. If I can get Lightning Strike, that would be really good too, but I doubt I'm going to get it. There's Shadow Chaser, so we can test that one out too. So that's not too bad. Risk Aversion, we've got there as well. And then Resistance. And finally, War Prep, which does mean if we go back out into the special effects, I can get rid of this one. And I'm going to keep that Risk Aversion. Where is it? So we're definitely keeping this because after my tests, what I am going to probably do is try this Risk Aversion over this Deceptive Words, because I've got the feeling running Power Accumulation, Risk Aversion, and Resistance is going to be the best way for an Archer player, because even for us as a Ramses, when we're activating that Commander skill and we're obviously immune and we're generating that Rage, being able to reduce our damage taken in that state is going to be huge, and we're going to increase our movement speed too. So I do think that's going to be a really big one. The other ones like this War Prep here and Slaughter and all of the others, I don't think are going to actually outperform what we actually have, which is you know, the full damage reduction kind of package for our archers there. So that means, as you can see, our 2 double archers are set up. So all I'm going to have to do in the future now is work on our cavalry, right? Trying to get some cavalry ones, because we've got cavalry with resistance already. So we're going to need to get the other ones for our Lubu and obviously Zhao Yun when he comes out in the future. So that is today's episode. Really good breeding, man. We've done some insane gains, definitely in the mount department, and it's not pushed us too far in power, which is the really big one, because always scared at the moment going past 70 million, because as we are creeping day and day closer to the migration event that is obviously on Age of Empires Mobile. So if you guys have enjoyed it, you know what to do. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. And until the next one, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.